Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Forge of Champions. My name is Munchballs. I'm joined by Orcs, Nunu, and Willemp as we jump into the second best of three of the day. Now, let's take a second to react to that first series, because my goodness,
yikes!
That was a big oof. Game number two. I mean, literally the only difference between the two games, it felt like, was that Diabolus just threw a little bit less in the second game.
Honestly, yes, but I also feel like game two was way more decisive from Diabolus. But also, you know, I had this sort of perspective that game one, yes, Diabolus came out crushing the early game, but then towards the end, they really started to struggle. It started to taper off. Demise had life, and I thought coming into game two, that's got to brim you with confidence. You got to go in this like, we can beat these guys. And they didn't. They just kind of fell flat on their face, or into several walls they flashed into them across the game.
Yeah, honestly as well, the draft definitely very Demise favored. They had so much presence in the early game.
Diabolus
Didn't really happen. Huh?
You said Demise favored.
Did I? Sorry, Diabolus favored is what I meant. And speaking of Diabolus, PFI was the MVP of that game, and rightly so. 7 KDA there, picking early game, ganking junglers in the Gragas and the Elise, and showing why he was making those picks. As soon as he hits level 3, making things happen, forcing the issue, and getting his team a lead.
Yeah, he had a really great performance, and I got to give an honorable mention to the Heathen. Something I love to see is when junglers and supports move together around the map. We saw that so much in game two. It's really hard to deal with because you're going to have a numbers advantage. If they bring their jungler mid, you now have 3 men there in return. If they bring their jungler bot, you can bring your mid laner down as well because you've given that priority to the mid lane. So it was great to see. I think PFI has really stepped up, but I think the team has allowed him to do so. Well,
Diabolus maintain their win streak up against Demise there. They are now 4-0 in singular games up against those opponents. So, you know, Hell Clasico going very one-sided for now. And speaking of one-sided, let's take a look at our next game coming up. And I don't want to sugarcoat things here. We've got XL here coming back from EU Masters up against Barrage. You have to say right off the bat, XL heavy favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it was a given at any point in the split, you would say this. XL have looked strong. They went to EU Masters. They went 6-0 in play-ins. They looked dominant there. Yes, they didn't get all the way. But making it to quarterfinals is a big deal for the UK's second seed, and that hasn't been done before. They are looking on form. They have switched their roster a little bit, moving Jessica into the 80 carry role instead of Hjarnan, but still, the main tools are there for the team, and I think it's a safe bet to go towards them. All of us have predicted towards them, but Barrage did look better last week. They did look better than we expected, and I'm hoping that they can show some of that life in this game. I do obviously still think it's still very XL favored, but I want to see some life.
Yeah, we can take a look at our predictions for this one as well. But if you're hearing what I'm saying that they're heavy favorites and all of this stuff, if you're upset because you're a Barrage fan, then be cheering in that Twitch chat. Get in touch on Twitter as well. Flame me online and let me know that Barrage are going to take this. I hope Barrage can take this. I would love to see Barrage take this, but we have to look at last season. We have to look at these rosters. Jeskla is coming in as well for XL. He's going to be in the AD carry position. 600 LP challenger right now up against KDO. He's going to be a heavy favorite in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and I mean, there is some questions. How's the synergy going to be? You've played a whole split with Mystiques. Now you're playing with Kasing. But they did have some experience playing together before in the past. I'm sure they've practiced up together now. And I think it'll just be more of the same from XL.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at our rosters coming into this one as well. As I've already mentioned, Jeskla are going to be stepping into the bottom lane for XL. Well, over on the side of Barrage, we're going to be seeing Icebreaker, who had an incredible week last week. He's going to be joined by Monkeys, Diva, KDO, and Fastlegged. And
yeah, on the other side, XL with Sendo, Taxa, Special, as we talked about, the change to Jeskla, and then Kasing in the bot lane. Much of the same, but Barrage, they clearly weren't happy with their performance last split. There were many iterations of the bot lane. The rest of the map did stay mostly the same, but they've said this is the roster we're confident in for Forge, and last week it definitely delivered.
Yeah, it certainly did, and I'm curious to see what they have up their sleeves. I'm hoping that they've got some interesting drafts to bring out here. They could do with something to change up the pace of things and maybe throw a curveball the way of XL. It's a best of 3, so you could afford to be a little bit risky in game one.
Well, the nice thing is, Hjarnan's not playing.
Yeah.
On the patch that Heimer got buffed.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're able to avoid that.
This is where Jeskla locks into
this is a bait. This is a bait.
Bodies everyone.
This would be the ultimate bait. They're like, we don't have to ban Heimer. Hjarnan's not playing, but he's taught everything he knows to Jeskla. I doubt
They've been training for weeks.
But I still think there's a lot of difficulties facing up against a team like XL. They've shown a ton of flexibility throughout, but to be honest, in their most recent iteration at EU Masters, if you didn't catch it, they were playing their sort of standard lanes. They were very dominant. It was often bot lane focused, and it was very much about Special getting his own advantages mid lane and translating their pressure towards bot lane. That was the biggest talking point for the change from Special to XL. Special would find his leads in the mid lane. He would get advantages, get priority, and then he would look to snowball the map on the back of that. And Taxa does as he's always done in the UK scene with this iteration of the roster and played around bot. Now, the thing that could beat that out is if you apply pressure down on the Special, he's not going to win 1v2, 1v3.
We'll have to see if that's what Barrage opt to go for here. That was the biggest weakness of XL when it came to EU Masters, was their kind of one-dimensional play. It was like, this is our game plan. If you can figure out how to beat that, then you figure out how to beat us. They're going to start things off, though, by banning out Renekton here, which, you know, it has been all over Worlds play-ins. It's been a first pick in many, many games. Incredibly strong right now, both in the top lane and the mid lane.
Yeah, really strong, flexible pick and a safe blind in most situations. There are some rough matchups, but the fact that he flexes it makes it comfortable. Barrage answering with the Pantheon ban, which is completely unexpected. At Worlds playing so far on the same patch 919, the only champion with 100% presence. Banned every single game, but one where it won. So no surprise, especially when Kasing's shown he will play it, to see that one off the cards. And then I've seen the Karthus banned away from Monkeys, so I want to give that one over to him and allow him to have that scaling element and also the global pressure. If XL look for aggressive players bot, and particularly they love their dives, that's something that could put a spanner in the works. Yeah,
the Xayah banned away as well. That's something that is very first pickable. Obviously, Jeskla plays it, but literally every high elo AD carry plays Xayah at this point. It's been meta for so long. Akali actually taken off the board. Obviously, Akali not as strong as she used to be, so interesting to see that as a priority ban.
Yeah, it's still seeing a fair amount of play. It's not as strong, but in the right matchups, it can be pretty powerful. And yes, the ult has been toned down a bit, but you still have the sort of obnoxious trading patterns in lane. You throw the shurikens out, you throw the shroud out. There's no real way to counteract that in the 1v1.
Well, Kiana will be the answer. And now Sando has the honor of going for the first pick. It is going to be the Yuumi, immediately locked on in here. And now we'll see the counter with the Garen and the Lucian take off both of it.
There's still the Heimer. You know, we've seen XL play the Heimer Yuumi bot lane before, but it's something that throughout the split from when Kasing got his hands on it and even consistently in EU Masters have banned away against them, because XL shown they will first pick that Yuumi even after the nerfs, and they are confident on it. In answer, Barrage, pick up that Syndra. And the power of this Syndra early pick is, yes, there are counters to it. Echo's a big one, but you can flex it to the bot lane. It has been played as majors. I'll be interested to see if KDO has that in his wheelhouse. But big thing for me is it sets up really strong mid-jungle combos, especially when you have a Gragas to back it up. This is one of the strongest junglers on the patch. A lot of early pressure, a lot of CC potential. Whatever Special picks has to go toe-to-toe, not just with the Syndra, but potentially Monkeys on this Gragas as well. Yeah,
we'll see if that is going to be the focus, like you were saying before. If he can shut down Special, maybe he can find a window into this game. It's going to be answered, though, by XL's Taxa's Lee Sin there in the jungle. Another very good early game ganking jungler. So we could have a bit of a battle between those two junglers on where they're going to be on the map. A lot of counter ganking could come on through. The Kayle going to be locked in our first half of the draft. Not someone I was expecting to see.
No, it has seen a little bit of play. No Man's in particular at Worlds has been playing it on this patch, and it has a lot of power. In the changes that they recently made, they did make it so the late game's not as good as it used to be, but you actually are a champion at level 6 instead of level 11. You get that range, and it provides a lot of power already. If you look at XL's composition, they have so much utility. They have so much protection for whatever carry they opt to pick up in the late rotation. The thing is, Kayle is a great carry in and of itself. The thing is, it is a lot of scaling elements already on the side of XL. They need Taxa to pop off in this Lee Sin to get later stages, but so far, Barrage going to answer with the volley bear support. So this is something that is picked as a counter to the Yuumi, because when she's dashing between people, if you use your Roar,
Majestic Roar, yeah,
you interrupt it, she ends up being locked out of going inside anyone. It gets taken down. And the big thing is they ban away the Garen, because it doesn't work in the Garen. Because when you're against Garen Yuumi doesn't leave Garen, so you don't have your chance to roar. So I like this move from Barrage to pick it there and then ban away the Garen. Gonna be interesting to see if they ban away the likes of a Lucian here, if they want to take over the second AD carry that matches so well with it.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll see what they are going to go for there. You could also look for that Echo ban, as you mentioned, really good into the Syndra, but then you could send the Syndra down to that bottom lane as well. Something we've seen a lot on this patch, but it's actually going to be a Gangplank ban. And, you know, Volibear actually could be flexed up to the top lane. It's possible.
I wouldn't like to see it, but I like the Gangplank ban because it's great for XL, because what they like to do is they put Sendo on the weak side, they put all the pressure bot lane. Gangplank's perfect for that. He's hard to dive. If you set up a wave, you can just ult it. If you try and make a play bot to counteract XL, he'll just use his ult there as well. So good adaptation there to cut it down. And XL banning away the Kai'Sa and then the Aurelia away from the side of Barrage. So maybe this says to me that XL are looking towards a Gnar pickup. Which is something that
would be really surprising. See Sendo or Gnar. It's something we've seen so rarely before.
We do see the Aurelia picked as cannon, but also we got to remember that the Syndra is a flex at this point. Still technically a flex now, but I doubt it.
Yeah, that's probably KDO going to be grabbing that Lucian from Sun. Now the question is, what does Jeskla pick alongside this Yuumi? It's actually going to be Sendo maybe looking towards the Nasus. So that's something we've seen him play before, but it is going to be locked in there.
Okay, it's not a hover.
It's not a hover. But yeah, so the AD carry position available here.
I think something safe with wave clear, which is kind of limited when you look at what's available on the map. Ezreal's got good synergy, but honestly, you lack a bit of the wave clear, because right now XL's like composition. Yeah, I mean, or do that.
Or just lock in a Zen. Just lock in a Zen.
So I think the big thing for me here is that I had an inkling this maybe could be a Kayle bot lane. I think that's might be what we're seeing, and then I expect to see the Zed in the mid lane up against the Syndra, which is a decent matchup. You have a lot of mobility to play into that.
Why? Because he's going to play Yuumi.
Yeah, so I expect to see the Nasus top, the Zed mid lane. It's a really strong 1-3-1 composition. The only issue is the bot lane's going to struggle in the early levels. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. We'll see where they all align. On the other side, we do see the Darius picked up for Barrage, so something that can go in melee range off the Nasus and do well.
Wait, is Special playing jungle? Special has the smite right now. Taxa has ignite. XL going full disrespect here. They are not coming into this one full try hard. They're coming into this one saying, hey, what do we want to do this game, guys? How do we want to mix things up and make this fun for ourselves? Tax is trying out his mid lane Zed play here up against Taxa.
I'm not convinced by Taxa. Hadn't been his teammate, not convinced by that. Special in jungle could be good though. But again, this composition will do well in a 1-3-1 situation. But the laner phase is going to be rough. So Barrage, the burden is on you. Shut down these lanes. Hopefully things are great from there.
I'm kind of disappointed that we don't get to see Jeskla actually playing an AD carry. I was excited to see his mechanics coming into Forge of Champions, but he's going to be playing Kayle instead. So later on in the game, it's sort of like an AD carry in that you kill things in 3 auto attacks.
Plus, what is insane for the dive potential is you can put the Kayle ult and the Yuumi on top of the Zed, and he just goes in, which would be pretty hard to deal with, but again, I feel like there's a lot of tools on the side of Barrage, which in the early levels, they should have the advantage in lanes. You're playing against a melee champion bot lane in the terms of the Kayle until level 6. In the mid lane, yes, Zed can put pressure onto the Syndra, but Syndra's in her own right very strong in the early stages with all the wave clear and all the trading power. And then top lane, we didn't touch on it much, but Darius is going to have the advantage in the Nasus.
Yes.
It comes down to Monkiz. So Monkiz is someone who's had a stellar history in the UK, but more recently, this last season, hasn't been able to deliver on the back of Barrage. Here, I'm looking for him to redeem himself. It's down to him if he wants to set up his team for success.
Yeah, and on the other side of that, Sendo, obviously very accomplished top laner within the UK, but Nasus is something we've seen him play a lot in the past. This is a difficult matchup for him, but I'm sure he knows how to play safe into this.
But specifically Nasus, we saw when it was a counter to the Yorick, so it's something that, you know, Yorick traps you in the cage, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Could go toe-to-toe with him, and also you can stack up the ghouls here. He didn't have it as a counter matchup. I feel like, as you said before, it's disrespectful. He picked it blind. He's answered with a Darius. It shouldn't be a fun matchup, and I feel like you need jungle assistance if you're going to get some footing in this matchup. Unless Icebreaker just isn't able to go toe-to-toe, but he should have the advantage.
Icebreaker had a great weekend last week, or not weekend, last week. He played incredibly well. He had multiple 2v1s. I'd love to see Icebreaker pop off, but most importantly, I'd love to see Barrage punish this disrespect. Because coming in, First game here for XL. They've come in very confident. They've come in a little bit cocky, even role swapping their team here. Barrage, you got to shut them down, put them in their place, make them play properly.
And I feel like the disclaimer I got to say is we have seen teams like XL and Fnatic often role swap. So we're not saying role swap is disrespectful, but here it is a fact that Taxer on Lee Sin and Special on Zed is the better orientation.
Yeah.
They gain no advantages from switching this.
This is not strategic.
No,
Tax has not been like grinding away his Zed play. Well, maybe he
Special's
has,
a mean Zed, and Taxer Lee Sin's one of his go-tos. This is very much them wanting to sort of limit test a bit, I feel, and we'll have to see if it ends up paying off. We saw a lot of that from G2 last season, and it did cost them a couple of games in the regular split. And this is a game that XL could end up losing, but then still bounce back in the series. So I guess we just got to see.
Maybe it's just that Jeskler's the new kid in the gang, and they have all got to show off a little bit. They've all got to show that they're big for the boots here. Anyway, it's time to jump into game number 1 here of this series. This is going to be best of 3. As we head into this one, it's going to be Barrage on the red side, and it's going to be XL on the blue side, taking them on. And when we take a look at the jungle matchup specifically, a lot of pressure here on Monkeys. He needs to have a lot of early game presence, needs to be able to use this Gragas to effect. It's what we saw in the first series of the day. Things like the Gragas and the Elise having a lot of impact very early in the game. And that's very possible to be the case here. And to be honest, Barrage need that to be the case.
Yeah, gotta agree with that one. They need that early pressure. The lanes are in their favor, I'm gonna say. I mean, the only one that's a bit volatile is the mid lane, but actually, right. They've put the Nasus bot, and they put the Kale top, which...
Okay, I've no idea.
It's cats and dogs.
I guess it's
raining cats and dogs in the bot lane.
It's sort of like Garen Yumi, I
No,
guess.
no, it's not. No.
In the
No.
tanks?
It doesn't work. It's not the same, right? It just isn't the same.
Uh-oh. Well, here we go. Engage coming on him. Fast-legged already on into this one. Special stunned up, ignited, but jumps away with his life. Red buff will be claimed here. No!
How do you not smite that?
Special got it.
How did Monkeys not smite that? I saw it get to the HP. You're in melee range. Just press your smite button.
Duh.
That was frustrating to watch. Honestly, that was frustrating to watch.
Man, Barrage, they find the perfect start.
And
they find the way to keep
They put the
things off
Darius bot
right.
lane.
What is happening in this game? I have no idea what's going on. Sendo with Nasus Yumi lane up against them. And then we have KDO Lucian solo lane up against Jeskler's
So
Kale.
I'm going to break this down. So basically what happened is Darius into the Nasus is pretty doomed in the top lane. So they were like, right, we're going to switch this matchup up.
Oh, here we
speaking
go.
of which-
Sendo, speaking of doomed, is in a lot of trouble. Ignite down onto Icebreaker, though, because Singh wants to find a kill right there. He's got a Bloodthirsty Thresh, and as Yumi can match it, apparently. Just blasting out those autos.
This is the joys.
Look at this damage.
This is the joys
Singh.
of being the only ranged champion out of 4, right? You can just constantly just hammer down on them. And the thing is, any other ranged champion, you got to be scared of the engage. Not Yumi, though. You just jump back into Sendo. But yeah, so my interpretation of this is that XL didn't want... I mean, I don't know how much of it is XL wanting to pay Nasus bot and how much of it is wanting to avoid the Garen match. Oh,
Here we go.
gone.
Sing's under the tower. The heal comes on through. He's bleeding out. Icebreaker flashes for it, and he kills himself. No!
How do you flip a Yumi under tower and not kill Kissing? It's unfathomable.
This is an unfortunate game, to say the least. Icebreaker teleports back on in. Really disastrous flash coming out from him. He thought he had the kill. He thought flashing was the way to secure it.
But he didn't have his Q is the big thing. He went for the, I believe he went for the apprehend level 1. So he didn't have his Q available here. I mean, you can see he's on low HP. It's a great pull. He pulls him out of the thing, but Fastleg stops attacking him. He just stops hitting him, and then he gets in range. Sendo, Guardian comes in, heal comes in, and honestly, Fastleg, you were sleeping on that one.
Yeah, unfortunate play coming out there, and now XL will be able to just continue to farm up. And here's actually the beautiful thing about this for XL, is having that Yuumi alongside the Nasus kind of negates some of the serious pressure that Darius would have in that 1v1.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Sendo has pretty much unlimited HP because of the zoomies. He's able to just farm safely up. And the question is, can Monkeys do anything about this?
They're going to go for it now.
That's like charges on in here, but the Wither just completely denies the Volibear engage. Now Special comes into
Diva's
the
in
mid
trouble.
lane where he's used to being Diva. Will be slowed on up here. Trying to get a kill onto Taxa, but that's not going to be allowed on through. Now Monkeys enters the fray as well. Special getting some DPS down. He's going to have to be able to jump away here with the safeguard. And it looks like that will be disengaged. Kasing now the target. Ignite ticking, and he's actually going to be ferociously chomped down on.
And finally the combo comes through, and I do think they moved the Darius away because they didn't want to play in a Kale, but in the end they finally get the double flip combo. Well, it's a flip and a pull, and they managed to punish Kasing. I mean, this game is not what I expected coming into it. I think everyone can agree on that one, but clearly there was some back and forth strategies at play, but Barrage finally pulling off what they look to do with this bot lane combo, which is kill the Yuumi. And as to your theory about the Garen before, the Garen Yuumi, this being like a similar adaptation, the big difference is that Garen is like mobile and Nasus just isn't. That is why the Garen,
Oh, KDO wants the kill right there. Won't quite find it with the flash. Good effort though.
I just feel like having the Nasus Yuumi isn't as strong because you don't have the mobility to move the Yuumi down, to chase people away.
Special wants to find this kill onto KDO here. Won't. Oh, he does actually go for this one underneath the tower. Oh, I thought he was going to take a second shot. Icebreaker now going to be in trouble. Slowed on down, ignited, and will be finished off by Kasing. Once again, the range coming into play.
But it's just disrespect coming out from Icebreaker. You know that against two people, he'll get slowed and chased down. Fast leg goes in there. He oversteps and in the end gets punished. Clear that Icebreaker isn't used to be playing in a 2v2 lane, whereas Sendo, he did this countless times throughout the season. The UKLC, he's very accustomed to playing these sort of matchups.
Well, Taxa so far down in CS in that mid lane. Diva doing a good job to start to bully that lane. Obviously, it is his main role. KDO trading aggressively with Jesklo. It's actually going pretty evenly.
Yeah, Jesklo now hit level 6, does have that range to go toe-to-toe. This is sort of where the end of KDO being able to punish this lane massively hard. You can still trade pretty effectively with the Lucian, and Monkeys is coming.
Here we go. Monkeys wants to find a way in here. Body bot will be there, but Jeskla just blocks all of the damage with his ultimate.
Yeah, you get the ult, you take that cooldown away, but at the end of the day, Jeskla able to survive. Not a huge success from that play, and Jeskla obviously maxing that Q. You can see a huge amount of poke going down to KDO. Able to punish him heavily, and now Icebreaker and Fastlick got to be a little bit careful here, because Sendo and Kasing are looking strong, and they can very easily choose the engages. They have the slows from the Wither, they have the speed ups, they have the slows from the Prowler projectile. It's sort of on them when they want to take the fight, unless Barrage can go for a hard engage. And Fastlick flashes up, but I think they have to respect the fact that since Monkeys spent so much time top lane, you have to expect Special on the bot side. He's going to reward his team with an Ocean Dragon.
Yeah, comfortably able to take that one. And we were talking about Monkeys being a player that we needed to see step up in this matchup. He needed to be aggressive, get these ganks early. So far, it's not worked out for him. And when you take a look at the CS numbers in the jungle as well, Special is on almost double the farm at this stage.
Yeah, he's been farming up Storm, and he's got a very aggressive build, opening with that serrated dirt, going for the full damage, burst potential in those trades. This is a lot of power, and he is looking now for Diva. No mana available. Flash still up. Taxa would be there to follow up.
And it's not surprising that Special as a jungler will focus on this mid lane. He knows how valuable a mid lane gank can be. Diva under damage here from Taxa. In the meantime, Monkey's getting 1v1 by Special. Takes a lot of damage from the tower, though, and it will just be traded 1-for-1.
Yeah, all that burst coming in from Special, but in the end, too many tower hits does cause his demise. Diva able to hold out, and the ult from Taxa no longer available, so he's going to be in a pretty comfortable position just to clear the waves up here. Icebreaker now level 6. Sendo is as well. A lot of burst potential there. The big thing is, though, that Yuumi ult shuts down those many champions so effectively. I expect to see it come in here. No, they're going to hold it for now.
Just managed to walk away there. And we have to talk about, you know, coming into this game. Obviously, the expectation is that XL will win this game, right? And then they lock in this draft, this kind of arrogant draft, right, where they're swapping players and all this other stuff. Oh, here we go. Tax is in trouble. KDO has arrived on the scene, and Tax is actually going to go down here. All three players there. Monkeys actually donating the kill, though. Sacrificing his own assist so that KDO can get that one.
Yeah, which I think is a right call. You want more gold on Lucian. He is going to be your main DPS later on in the team fights. XL doing a lot of work in the spot lane, and I'm always open to new strategies. I'm not hugely convinced on the Nasashumi yet, simply because I don't think you normally expect to be playing into Darius Volibear. Also, I feel like there were areas where they did misplay, but for now, they're going to get poked down. They look for the engage.
Yeah, Root coming down onto Fast Legged. He's going to be the target for now. Ignite ticking on Icebreaker. Sender actually has to flash away from this one. Slowed on in. Monkeys arrives. Explosive Cast knocks them both on back. And this is surely a double kill coming on through. One each for Monkeys and Icebreaker, but Jeskla and Special answer.
Yeah, able to answer. Really easy dive with the ultimate coming in from the KL for the invulnerability. Now both teams going to look to get some plates here. And this is one of the issues with the Nasus. You are immobile, but now he's going to TP in, and Kasing is with him.
Back on in they go, and they manage to protect their tower place for themselves. We'll be able to just clear up these minions, so very well defended. Let's take another look at this 2v1.
KDO doing what he can, but ends up kiting away from the tower in the situation. Burst is nearly there, but
can't burst against Kale.
Can't do much about that in the end.
Here we go, flash forwards to get the Targon's proc. Beautiful stuff right there. And Sendo will be the target. Even though, like, mechanically it was not great, it still works out. It still works out, man.
Mechanically it was not great is an understatement.
All right, here we go. KDO now in trouble because the rest of his team is all around the bot side. Special tanking the tower, takes an extra shot. KDO with the 2v1.
That was mechanically not great from Special, but KDO makes the outplay. The kill isn't there to save Special this time, and Barrage coming out ahead in some of these skirmishes, but still pretty significantly down in gold.
Icebreaker wants to take that turret play. Wants it real bad. Taxa now finds a 1v1 onto Monkeys. Ignites immediately. Deathmark there. Oh, nice little Zhonya's though to keep himself alive. KDO wants another one for himself. Oh! Taxa gets it, but it's traded. KDO starting to get fed in this top lane.
Absolutely is, and that was a very close one. Good outplay from Monkeys, but not enough in the end. But KDO gets a blue buff, has to sustain from his items, so he is feeling confident. And at the end of the day, this is still your AD carry player on this Lucian. Being in top lane just means he gets more XP, and now he's got a ton of gold. You got to feel confident right now for Barrage. Sing and Sendo are still going to be trying to apply some pressure in this bot lane, and that's the thing, is that with the Garen, he is hard to pin down. Because Sendo's flashless, you send Monkeys there with his cask, and it's basically a free double kill. It's very hard for the Yuumi to get away, especially if they cask Sendo back in, and he doesn't have the mobility to avoid that. He doesn't have any tenacity as well built into his kit, and so far hasn't opted for the Merc Tread, so it is pretty much free pickings if Barrage can pull it off. But the issue is now, because of all those ganks from Special, Eska's been hammering away at this tower on the top lane.
Yeah, and similarly in the mid lane as well, we've seen D.Va is able to just farm up so far. He's not had to be much of a part of any of these fights, so he does have a significant CS lead. He's got a couple of turret plates for himself as well, so this Syndra is going to start to become a problem for XL.
And it's clear that Taxa isn't as accomplished on Zed as he thought he was, because he's not having the greatest success and is down in farm. But now, Special weight in the wings. How do you miss that?
What's happening this game? Here we go. Monkeys finding a way on in. Explosive Cast just going to knock them on the spot, though. And Monkeys, man, he wanted to get the knock up further on into his team.
There was...
Oh, actually, they want more right here. Sonic Wave lands from Special. His mind's telling him no.
I feel like with the Special, it was like there were two clear targets, and he managed to thread the needle between them. And then with Monkeys, it was the opposite. There was, you can ult him this way towards your team, or this way towards you. You ult him into the wall, and oh, play comes in.
Nice little kick onto Fast Legged. Will heal up with that passive. All right, now he will heal up with the passive. Yeah. Sendo walking on in. They might be able to get a turret plate here, but there is a good bit of pressure there from Icebreaker.
KDO, this tower's getting pretty low. Will he look for the all-in?
Oh, he does. 1v1 right here. KDO just fighting to keep the tower alive at this point.
Now the plating's full and that won't be on the cards, but still it's so low on that first tower gold available. Special going to get the second ocean, and I don't think it has any wards.
Special doesn't have any flash or wards available. Fast-legged grabs himself a kill. The Ocean Drake did go the way of XL though, so still a positive trade.
I'm not sure if he bought that after he died, but he has charges on his trinket. Why didn't he just go over the wall? I mean, I was assuming he didn't have wards.
He's a mid lane main, man.
He has 2 charges on his trinket, so he must have had wards. And I was like, surely there's some issues. I assumed you suicide there.
Oh, I think his W was on cooldown.
W was on cooldown. So rookie mistake using your W when you may needed to get away. But in the end, he does fall down. This game's been...
right, this is like the definition, the dictionary definition of a clown fiesta, right?
Yep.
XL draft this bizarre stuff. They put Taxa in the mid lane. But then Barrage have actually stepped up to the occasion a little bit, right? They have actually been winning out in these trades. They are down in gold overall. And there's been a couple of funky plays. But here we go. Now, another one onto this bottom lane. The Roots, though, I don't know if they can win this one. Fast leg goes down. Icebreaker's the next target. TP being channeled. They want a 4 versus 2 right now as KDO arrives on the scene. But it's 2 down already, and Sendo ain't done just yet. He charges forward, but KDO melts him down eventually. Double kill for the Lucian.
Great play coming out from Barrage, but honestly, Sendo is making it so hard for them. They get the double kill, but at what cost? And this is the issue. You have 2 melee bot laners who want to get in range the Nasus to set things up. You know, I'm going to retract when I said great play. It was a play. Good play coming out from XL with the pressure in the mid lane.
Orcs 2019.
And the thing is, because they brought all 5 members down, now Barrage losing their mid lane tower, but Taxa in a bit of trouble. Monkeys is there.
Monkeys wants to find the Zed here, but I think he's going to be able to dash away with the Yumus. And in the meantime, Special was stealing away that red buff as well. In the meantime, Jeskla was pushing towers in the top lane. Everything goes the way of XL.
Stuff is just constantly happening in this game. But taking stock, we have a pretty farmed up Syndra in the mid lane. We have a 5-1 Lucian in the top lane. Barrage are doing okay. Could be better. But I'm just interested to see how this Nasus Yuumi is going to evolve into this game. Because my concern is, I mean, obviously it's strong in terms of it still has a Yuumi, can provide a ton of poke. She has got a lot of gold behind her. And yes, you're locked onto a tank, but the immobility of Sendo means he is more vulnerable to picks.
Well, speaking of picks, Taxa is going to be the target right here. Nice little death mark to dodge the knockup, but it's not really enough to keep himself alive here. And that's going to be a nice little kill onto D.Va as well.
Yeah, bit of a slow flash for Monkeys, but in the end, it doesn't matter, and Taxa goes down. And now, Barrage looking to capitalize with his top lane tower, and nowhere else on the map really that XL can punish. They will shove that wave up mid, but now they're actually looking to rotate towards that boss side. KDO alone there. With the Nasus, Yuumi, and the Lee Sin coming in, you got to be pretty scared, and he's being flanked.
He's in trouble here. Will be able to get a good amount of damage down, but it's not going to be enough for him. Shut down there, going the way of Sendo. And that's a lot of gold that just went into his pocket. On the way, though, is D.Va on this Syndra. Wants to make something happen, but Sendo is a real scary dog right there. You do not want to feel his bite, and now they're just going to be taking absolutely everything away. And even though kills-wise, the game is going in favor of Barrage, they're even on towers. In terms of map control, it's absolutely in favor of XL.
And also in gold. There's about a 4,000 lead, and there are factors to take into account. Having the second support item between your bot lane will give you extra gold income, and also the Kleptomancer and Jessica will help that. But even so, this is a pretty significant lead coming out for the side of XL, despite, as you said, the kill differences. And a large part, when you look at the jungle CS difference, that's pretty insane to see. Special clearly got his farming pants on and able to pick up a ton of damage already on that Lee Sin.
So far, so good for XL. They pick up this interesting composition with the Nasus Yuumi bot. This is going to be like the featured bot lane from Worlds now. XL pull this out in the Forge of Champions, then our next month of competitive gameplay is this Nasus Yuumi bot.
I'm still not convinced by it. I mean, the big thing that Garen offers so much strengths to me is that he's very hard to pin down. It's not just the fact he's tanky. He has the cleanse on his Q. Oh, seen in play coming top.
KDO's in trouble here. Deathmark is going to be in. It's a lot of damage, but it's not all of the damage. Taxa almost goes down. KDO, good effort on making the play. Not quite enough damage.
Yeah, Special coming in really sealed his fate, but in the end, Taxa doing most of the work there.
Jeskla now going to be in a 2 versus 1, pulled on in, and Icebreaker's there to dish out the damage. Will have that divine intervention to keep himself alive, and actually 2v1ing right now as Icebreaker and Fastlane have to get out of there. Monkeys arrives, knocks one back. Will be able to get the knock up to follow up, but Monkeys is the target as Jeskla is melting through the health bars. Diva's going to go down, flash on in with the double. Icebreaker's next, no, gets the heal, keeps himself alive.
And that is the scarier combo. The Kale with the Yuumi just looked disastrous for Barrage there, but in the end, a little bit of an overstep. Icebreaker saves the day, but it was definitely a close one.
Unreal
scary.
stuff. This game is just hilarious so far. So obviously does manage to get this 2v1 start. It looked really bad for a second, but the divine intervention changed everything.
Yeah, and the lack of damage. They know they can't pop all that burst there. The ult is dodged by Jeskla, and then watch, as soon as the Nasus goes down, Jeskla just feels so confident to go ham, doing so much damage, and then it's that pull at the end that stops him from cleaning up. In the end, Barrage are able to shut down the Kale. But that's why originally I thought it was going to be Kale Yuumi bot lane, because yes, the lane's a bit rough, but once it gets going, that is a strong combination. Whereas, I mean, it hails back to my points about the Nasus, is that the Garen is a lot harder to pin down. He has that free tenacity in his W, he has the movement speed on his Q, and the slow removal. Nasus doesn't have that, so when Gragas casts him, there's no way to evade that, no way to escape it, and you saw that happen there. Sendo is a viable target for Barrage.
And they're looking for a viable target right now as they're setting up to try and find a pick for themselves. It's Diva that's going to be chunked out and forced away from the situation, and now Sendo will be able to clear away some of this vision. Both teams starting to posture around both the Dragon and the Baron. Jeskla already on the Dragon, but it's actually going to be Taxa that's caught up, has to jump away. Will survive with his life, and now Sendo already forced to use his ultimate just to stay alive in this situation, but he's so damn tanky. They're struggling to kill him. Knocked back in and finished off, though. Barrage find themselves an advantage.
And Sendo, especially without the Yuumi, a vulnerable target for Barrage to pick up. You saw Taxa getting buffed up by Kasing, and then that left the Nasus vulnerable. Now, Barrage, they're just looking towards the Baron, and this is going to be a risky one because of the poke coming out from the Yuumi, so instead they are just going to hide in this pocket of vision. Jeskla has blue trinket, though. He will spot this out.
Well, as soon as they're spotted, they immediately start this objective up. Jeskla wants to fight this one right now, but it's actually going to be Kasing caught on. And divine intervention keeps the Yuumi alive long enough to jump in, but at what cost? He kills himself instead. And now this fight has all gone wrong. Taxa trying to make the play onto KDO. The lifesteal is not enough. It's a 1-for-1 there. His special is the next to go down. Sendo left all on his lonely own, so chucked on back into the fight. And Monkeys will be able to walk away with his life. Sendo cannot do anything. It's an ace for Barrage.
They clean out the team fight, and it looked like a great play to save Kasing, but in the end, Jeskla burnt his ult. He's now vulnerable, and instantly Diva and KDO jump from him, and now it's gonna be a bit of a slow Baron.
Can they do this? They have so little damage here, and two of the members are so low.
Yeah, I don't think they can. The big thing is KDO and Diva being down, their main DPS unavailable. It's like TP coming in from Jeskla and Kasing. They might try to pick up some stragglers, but in the end, they will not spot them out. But they know the Baron has not been started, not been done.
Yeah, force the TP there. Well, just by pressure alone, force the TP. They thought that the Baron was going to be kicked off. They knew that that was maybe a cleanup opportunity. Good respect from Barrage to understand that that exact situation could happen.
Absolutely. And now we have to take stock of how the next team fight may well go, because we saw Sendo. Yes, he's pretty strong on this Nasus, but getting kited pretty heavily in these team fights, not able to find access onto the right targets. Jeskla has to be the carry. He has to be the one doing the damage. But when he's using his ult to save people, that cuts down his DPS. You can't auto-attack while you're channeling that ult. But now, flank looking to come in from special. They're looking likely for KDO.
We have to bear in mind that Jeskla's there as well. Look at the damage. That is insane. Monkeys goes down. Double kill for special. Fast legged is next. And Diva, left alone, will fall. It's third one going the way of Taxa there. And Icebreaker just going to be farming in the bottom lane while the Baron is started for XL. It doesn't matter what happens in the early game. It doesn't matter what composition they draft. This is a dominant team fight win.
And they find a great angle from a really good read from Special to look for the flank, and he's gone this very burst heavy build, basically one-shot KDO with our main carry out the fight instantly. Barrage never stood a chance.
There we go, with Baron in their pockets as well. Things are looking pretty dire for Barrage, because obviously with a team composition like this, with no AD carry, you're going to struggle to set up a siege. You're going to struggle to actually push through these inhibitors without a team fight win. Once you've got the Baron,
you can definitely set up for that. And the big thing on top of that is that you have so much split push threat. Jeskla in the side lane, really versatile, but to be honest, I feel like they can just put Taxa there. He can apply that pressure in the side lane. Yes, he was struggling in the early levels, but he has now got his third item. He's up in levels, well, he's even at least with KDO after that level up. They're in a pretty good position, but Barrage, they're looking to go for a bit of a play here.
Special's the target, CC'd on up. KDO comes in with the damage, and that's a shutdown for him. On to Sendo next. He's the target as Cullen comes on through. But
the wave
of the damage from Jeskla. That is insane. 2 kills for him. Diva's next on the chopping block, and he'll go down. Taxa wants to find KDO. Deathmark on in. The damage is going to be there, and it's an easy ace for XL.
And the issue is, if you look for that kill, she has a Yuumi on top of her. She has the Divine Intervention. But in the end, you take out a Lee Sin, and Jeskla just runs over the team fight. He is so strong right now. And you saw Monk is waiting for the opportunity to throw his cast. He just got cleaved by the AoE. XL looking to end here in Barrage. There were some good moments, but overall, you can tell XL are the stronger team.
Well, this is just going to be dotting the I's and crossing the T's at this stage. Although the whole team is about to respawn from the side of Barrage. Maybe they can do something miraculous here. Doesn't look like that'll be the case, though, as one player goes down. And the Nexus is bare. Jeskla is just melting health bars. Look at, he's invincible with the Yuumi there. Divine Intervention finishes another player off. They're not even ending the game. They want the kills. Jeskla turns around onto KDO. You don't have the damage, my friend. Jeskla now in a 1v1 against Diva. He gets the triple kill. Icebreaker goes down, and so does the Nexus. XL style on Barrage.
And I think you're absolutely right. Styling is what they did. It was a fun game to watch. It was pretty aggressive. We've seen a lot of 4G champions. It was unconventional. And I think we've seen a lot of that from XL, but this was really out there. I'm not sold on Nasa's Yuumi. The Cats and Dogs hasn't got me convinced. It's not Garen Yuumi. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that was a game to prove it. Overall, Barrage, they had some good fights. They had some good ideas. The execution was lacking a bit. You could tell that these were, you know, top caliber ERL players on the side of XL, and the execution just was lacking a bit from Barrage. But still a series.
Yeah,
only one game down.
Barrage gave XL a game here, right? We had team fights. There was a serious chance that Barrage actually could win this game, right? They had an advantage in the early game as well. So I'm excited to see what Barrage can bring out in game number 2. XL, though, imagine what they could do with a real draft.
Yeah.
This, I mean, like, let's be honest, this was not a respectful draft.
No.
I'm on the same side as you here. I don't believe that the Nasus Yuumi was a pre-planned strategy. I think that this is just the way that it went. And swapping Taxa and Special in roles, I don't see
any benefit to that.
Yeah.
I do not see any benefit to that, especially on those particular champions. I don't see any benefit.
I mean, it was fun to watch.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
enjoyed this.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I don't think Barrage enjoyed it very much.
No.
But we'll have to see what Barrage have coming into game number 2. XL with a very strong win in game number 1. We'll see how the rest of this series will shake out, though. I believe we're just about ready to jump on into a break for this one. But do not go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes' time to see what Barrage have up their sleeves.